How's it going? What's up, YouTube? Zach here. Hey, how's it going? It's been a long time. I don't make videos very much, but here I am. And mainly because I wanted to get something off my chest. Thank you. I got 441 plus subs, so thank you for that. Get my notes here. We're gonna go through them. Got my coffee. And, well, I kind of want to go through the music that I've released, and I want to say a few things. Let's say, man, all kinds of cool things have been happening. And so mainly wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been following my my Facebook, my TikToks and all that stuff. And thank you for all the kind words. Everybody's been sending messages, and for the past couple years now, telling me how much they've been inspired by my story and everything. And so basically I'm sharing my dad's music that he made through the 80s and 90s. He was a pioneer. I feel like he was a pioneer. I feel like he was a pioneer of the DIY, do-it-yourself home recording studio, because back in 1981 or so, 82, he had one of the first Tascam recording machines, and he was addicted to it. So it was the first of its kind. It was technology that was cutting edge. You know, everybody has a Focusrite nowadays, it seems like. So, but ever since I shared my music, I've been having some cool people just tell me their feelings about how inspired they are, how they want to now make music and pass it down to their kid. Heck, Tom Green started following me on TikTok. That's pretty cool. Scarface from the Ghetto Boys started following my Facebook. That's so cool. And I don't know if they're actually looking at my stuff or even meant to follow me, but they are. Thank you for the thousands of listens. And so anyways, I got my notes here. The music I've shared so far has just been some early works, well, kind of early to mid works. First tape. All right, the first tape. Here we go. Forget Me Not. This is the first one I shared. I shared a reel on Facebook, and it got like 500,000 views, and a lot of people commented on that thing. And that kind of started the journey for sharing more of this music. I didn't expect everybody to be impacted, but I shared the song Together Forever, and that's a early song off that Forget Me Not tape. And funny thing is, this is tape number 14. Forget Me Not is actually tape number 14 out of his collection. I've got a bunch of them. I've got probably 40 albums and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so collection tapes. So there's a lot to go through. I've only released 2 so far. And let's go through this first. This might be a 2-parter, so bear with me. Forget Me Not, this album I shared, tape number 14. It's kind of music from the mid 80s to the early 1985. This is kind of into his songwriting a bit. I've got a lot of music that doesn't have music, or a lot of songs that don't have music to it. So, but this is kind of into his songwriting a little bit, and starts off with Sweet Voices. Man, I like this song because there's some like really haunting but cool background vocals, and that was done by a buddy of his named Ike, and he did the little background vocals, and I think it sounds sweet. Check that song out, Sweet Voices, if you haven't. Second song, Together Forever. Now, Together Forever is the one that popped off on Facebook and everything, and TikTok seemed to like it a lot too. I think it's a really cool song. It's got a cool little kind of like a laid back groove, and it's psychedelic, you know. I think it's a really fun song. I really like my dad's vocals, the tonality of his voice in that song. Definitely check that song out. Care a Little More, that's just a nice little fun song. That just shows that not every song has to have drums. in it. And I say love you so, forget me not. There's a few versions of that song, but this is the one I settled with on this tape. But yeah, I like this song. It's just Forget Me Not. It's pretty straightforward. Also another song that I like that doesn't have drums all in it. There is another version or two that I might release, but it has drums and it's more driven and kind of punk rocky. But anyways, I really like the harmonies on this version, so I use that version for this cassette tape. Let's see. Don't Change Your Mind. Man, I really love the arrangement of Don't Change Your Mind. I really like the strings and the keyboards in it. I think they sound really beautiful, man. I love the chord progression in this song. And very John Lennon-y. I really think his voice sounds really cool in this song too. Anyways, let's move to the next song. Let's see, the next song is Love's on Hold. Now I remember a story my dad told about this song, My Love's on Hold. He said he was on the phone with his wife, or maybe girlfriend, I'm not too sure. But anyways, it was a lover at the time. And they're talking, and something happened on her end, and she says, hey, hold on a second. And my dad said, hold on, my love's not on hold. And I think the reason why his love's not on hold, he said that because they were discussing problems and you know how it is in relationships. But and she put him off there for a second in the middle of an important conversation. Never do that, guys. Never do that. And if you haven't noticed on this side, this is a painting that my dad did way back when, 1990, I believe. 1991 is when he repainted that. So I had to insert this little bit in, but this song is next. It's called It's Not Easy. And I really do enjoy this song. I really enjoy the synthesizers, the strings, and I'm pretty sure this song was about missing out on the relationship with his first child. And I think some of the synth lead is done by a guy named Gene Flippo, but it's a really pretty song, and man, check it out, and then boom. Let's see, Don't Worry About Me. Now I think my dad co-wrote this song with a friend of his, and I really like this song. I think it's a really cool, there's a couple of versions of it. And again, my dad never tried to settle with one version at times. Sometimes he would hear multiple ways of playing the same song, as we all do. Don't Know What Love Is. And I like this song too. It's uppity, kind of groovy, and rock and roll. My dad, you know, to the core, my dad was rock and roll. And this song it's got that pop rock in it. It's very Beatles-y, I think. And all right, that was Forget Me Not. All right, some more music I did share. I shared this song called Hope You Understand. Now I pulled that version off this song, Mountain Mine. Now this is a collection tape, and the collection of songs between like 83 and 85, and my dad pulled those songs off the tapes that he did between 83 and 85 and put them all onto this one. So I hope You Understand is on an early tape somewhere, but the version that you're hearing on YouTube is off this cassette. Again, thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy this content. Now you can find this music on the playlist. It says Damon O. That's where all the music will be collected. Now, the next cassette I released, and it's only available on YouTube, is this one. Triangle, it says, and that's a buddy of my dad, goes by the name of Daryl, and he plays drums on half the songs in that tape, which is really cool because this tape is from some songs written from mid 85 into 88. And some of them, a couple of songs redone, like Crazy Woman and You're the One. I think those were older songs that were redone for this tape. But I really like this because Daryl's a groovy drummer, man. He is groovy, and allowed my dad to focus more on the producing side and the engineering side, and just trying to get everything hashed out on the album. And because most of the time my dad had to do the drums, the guitar, the bass. He had to do all that, the vocals, and once in a while he would have a friend that would come through and lay down a track. Hence some of the vocals, the harmonies being done by Ike, and maybe a guitar solo. And hope you understand, that's a guitar solo done by a guy named Gary, and who also wrote a song or two with my dad, and so it really created a really cool rockin' album, man. This album is really cool. Triangle. Let's go through it. The first song is called Crazy Woman. This was a song that my dad and this was my favorite song to play with my dad. It's the first song that I heard that had double bass, and so obviously I was like, whoa, what is that? What's that? You know. So I thought that was the coolest thing. That song had a really tight solo, and it's just, I think it's some of my dad's, like, I guess, peak musicianship in that album. Next song, You're the One. That one's a really cool song. That song, my dad and I called it the James Bond song, because, man, right when the verse riff hits, it sounds like a James Bond movie. Anyways, yeah, and I love the lyrics of You're the One, by the way. I just like it. It's a ballad, you know, and it's a heavy one, but it's a ballad nonetheless. Time to Be Free. One of my favorite songs on this album because the groove, I love the groove. Daryl lays down a mean drum part, and I would suggest you go check that out. I remember my dad telling me that the end's supposed to sound like a skipping record, so if you put in your mind that's what it sounds like, and try to imagine that. Let's see. This Close to You. My dad played the drums on this one, I remember. And I remember, so Daryl is a left-handed drummer, so that means my dad had to play this song left-handed. And I remember my dad talking about that and how difficult it was playing a left-handed kid. But he got it done, you know. He always, can't never could. That's what he always said. Let's see, Chance to Prove. Now, I really like this song. Now, this was a song, a buddy of his named Kelly played the French horn at the beginning and end of this song. So the French horn that you hear in it is a real French horn played by Kelly. He passed away a couple years ago, and rest him. And, well, I think it's really cool, you know. Like I said, he always had this desire to incorporate other people and friends, or anybody that wanted to participate in his music. He just loved including them. He always wanted to show people how fun it was, and it really is. It's a lot of fun to record music. Now on the cassette tape, after Chance to Prove, it goes to My Guitar Gently Weeps. Now I left it off the full album version on YouTube, so I didn't get any copyrights, but I did put that version up for listen. But again, that's done by the Beatles, George Harrison, actually. My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I think my dad did an incredible job on that song. We'll Know in Time, again, another song that my dad played the drums to. Not perfect, but I love his ideas. Again, my dad always talked about these songs as blueprints, as frameworks. Sometimes he just had so much coming to him, so many ideas that he didn't have the time to perfect everything, but man, he had to get it done. He got it done. Turn Around, I love this song. Turn Around in My Heart is what it's registered as, and this song is a country song, and I really love the lyrics. I love the chorus, the bridge, man, everything about the song. It's It's a nice little country song. But I like that it's different with that, with the nice little C minor change in there. So not your typical country chords. Let's see. My Jen, now My Jennifer, My Jennifer. Next song, My Jennifer. Now that was about a girlfriend at the time. But anyways, I like this song. I like I like the drumming in this song as well, because it's just very creative during the verses of this song. It's not, like I said, not every drum part needs to be a standard forward beat. And this is a perfect example. White Dove with Red Wings. Now this song, I really like this song too. This one's really cool, really experimental, real psychedelic, and for good reason, because the story about this is there was a little bit of influence of a particular substance, and it caused my dad to see white dove with red wings whenever he closed his eyes. So he had the inspiration from that, and as he's recalled it, he got up in the middle of the night and wrote it all down and woke his drummer up, and they said, hey, we got to record this, man. And that's how spontaneous my dad was. He'll get you up right out of the seat with an idea, just go record. And that's what they did. They recorded that song and finished it out. And I'm going to release a drumless version of that song because, hey, why not? And on the original cassette tape, it goes into the song Something, but again, by the Beatles, again. Another fantastic George Harrison song. One of my favorites, actually. One of my favorites. And so, for copyright reasons, I left it off the full album version on YouTube, but I did post a separate video of that. And then the last song on this album is It Was You. Now this song is, I like this song because of this guitar that comes in. The solo is very anthem-y, and I don't know how to describe it. Maybe that's the best way, anthem-y. Sounds like a little anthem, and that always caught my ear. I always liked the tone of that guitar whenever it comes in. And also this whole album is one of my favorites, just because again, I think it's some of my dad's peak musicianship, and it being the 26th album out of 40, there's a lot of songwriting that my dad did afterwards, and a lot of amazing songs throughout all the years, and there's 45, 46, 50 tapes. There's a ballpark of 250 songs recorded across all these tapes that are, and I say 250 songs, I got hundreds of songs recorded, but 250 recorded songs that are their own. But again, I have multiple versions of them. I have Beatle covers, so that's where the hundreds more come from on all these recordings. Again, a lot of time dedicated to all his craft, a lot of time dedicated to his art, and I really appreciate everybody being on board with all this stuff, and I hope I reach more hearts, and I hope I reach more people. And pretty soon I got some more material coming up, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. So like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.